on, Ray. Relegation threatened Tottenham saw the miserable 2026 continue after a 2-1 defeat to Fulham. Harry Wilson, what a season he's having, by the way, opened the scoring before an absolute screamer from Alex Iwobi, which is a lovely goal as well. Sealed it, meaning Spurs' winless run now stretches to 10 league games, mate. Dear me. But the first goal didn't come without controversy. Raul Jimenez was adjudged to have fouled Dragusin in the build-up, a decision that left Spurs boss Igor Tudor absolutely livid.
Ridiculous to not give the foul. It's because the consequence is too big. It's not small foul in the middle of the pitch. It's a goal after. So the referees, beautiful thing to keep playing here. Let's play strong and do it. It's fantastic. I like it. But there is a logic. If the goal is because he take advantage, not thinking about football. He was not thinking about ball. He was thinking how to cheat. So he cheated the player with pushing, and they scored the goal. So it's a logic. It's a cheating, and there's the foul. It's not the thing of duel, and then they want that here is a football is more tough, and we like the duels. This is nothing with that. So there was no logic in this decision, and logic is above everything. After come other things.
Yeah, I mean, I got that wrong. He was a judge not to have fouled him, obviously. Watched it a few times myself. Interesting one. We're going to speak now to host of the Last Word On Spurs podcast, Ricky Sachs. Good morning, Ricky. How are you?
Morning, Ricky.
Good morning, boys. I think you're better than how I am at the moment.
Oh, you've got to be, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's so tough. Well, I think, Ray, we'll start with you, Ricky, with that potential free kick. I mean, it must be really painful, particularly what happened the week before.
Yeah, look, I don't want to get too much drawn into it because I do feel that the standard of officiating right now in the Premier League is on the floor. There's such a lack of consistency, but if we're going to be honest about it, that's one of the reasons that we lost against Fulham. But quite simply, there's a lack of mentality from the players, the manager, some of his tactical decision-making, massively concerning. And look, the reality is, you boys put it there, we've gone winless in 10 in the Premier League. We've conceded 2+ goals in the last 8 games, a new club record. There's no team that can survive given that run rate, and we may just be very, very lucky that there might be 3 teams below us that are worse. But for a club like Tottenham to be where we are, it's just utterly shambolic.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Ricky, I mean, you got away with it a little bit because West Ham losing, Nottingham Forest losing yesterday as well. But you've got 2 massive games coming up this month, having your home games as well, where the fans have got to get right behind the team, which they did. And you've got Palace, I think, in the week, Thursday, and then you've got Nottingham Forest comes to the Tottenham Stadium the same month as well. So those games are must-wins, surely.
Absolutely, Ray. Yeah, look, they are must-win home games, but we've had home games this season that you would have said for Tottenham are home bankers, but the home form has been on the floor.
Why is that, Ricky? Why is that? Because it's a great stadium. Is it because teams get like joy playing there? I don't know. I don't know why it's so. Your record at home is so bad.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem you've got with Spurs is there's a real toxic feeling throughout the football club. When you look at the top in terms of the ownership and the changing of some of the hierarchy there, Daniel Levy moving on, nothing has really changed, Ray. The reality is with Tottenham that they talk like they want to be a big club, but they don't act like a big club. They don't want to pay the big club wages in general. Look, they've made a bit of a shift in terms of Conor Gallagher, for example. But, you look at that January transfer window, that absolutely has killed us by not improving and investing into the squad. We knew going into that window we were absolutely decimated by injuries, but the board chose not to give Thomas Frank any kind of opportunity to really fight and try and see if there's a way out of his current predicament when he was struggling. And Tudor's come into a battle where, quite honestly, at the moment, I'm really, really unsure whether we've made the right decision. But at the time, he was a firefighter, but I think he's walked into Tottenham, and you've heard in there in the press conferences, I think he doesn't realise until he's got in there the actual mess the club are in. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if another couple of defeats, they may look to change him, because I'm worried that in his first 2 games, he's gone in on the players and absolutely buried them.
Yes, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they probably deserve being buried, but how is that productive in terms of trying to get results out of this group? I don't know, when you're already decimated by injuries and you've got 12 to 13 players fit to work with.
It's a little bit harsh having a go at him straight away when he's only been in having 2 games, Ricky, but I can understand it, because for me it was a kind of strange appointment. I'm still a little bit concerned that some of the body language from the Spurs players that you're witnessing, that we're watching. See, in terms of the appointment, Ricky, I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world to say, right? But at the time, I would have thought it would have been more beneficial to maybe go and get, even to the end of the season, go and get either a Glenn or a Harry Redknapp. And I'll tell you why my logic in that, mate, because I just think it gives the whole club a boost and it lifts the whole place, mate. I don't know whether you agree.
All right, listen, boys, I totally hear what you're saying. I think that appointment would have appeased the fans, but the biggest thing is, does that work for the players? You know, the players are the ones that have got to cross the white line. They've got to get results. I don't mean any disrespect to Harry and Glenn, that are legends in their own right, but it is about trying to connect with the players and to get results. And I would think maybe they feel maybe Glenn and Harry's time, they've been out of the game for too long. The reality is, boys, that they're not going to have any other way to turn to, because if Tudor doesn't get results out of this group, then Tottenham can't get relegated. I mean, it's with all due respect. I know for the national media, there is a willingness by our Tottenham fans to see us get relegated, because that is the big story. But I just don't think people realise, if Tottenham get relegated, there's absolutely no guarantee that Tottenham come back first time of asking. There is absolutely no guarantee. So the club needs to do everything they can in their power to ensure we stay in this Premier League. But boys, from the top of the club to the manager to the players, it doesn't feel like anyone truly cares about the fans. And the fans were magnificent at Craven Cottage. They sang their heart out. And I know, like, it does feel like sometimes, and don't take this in the wrong way, that it does feel like Spurs fans at times get a real, I don't know, a real rough, you know, feeling around, you know, to the general media. The reality is that, you know, we've gone through a lot. You know, no one wants to keep sacking managers. All we want is to be able to get behind someone that we can see a plan, see a vision. And right now, it feels like the club is in utter freefall and total, utter disarray.
I'll tell you what, mate, I don't think it's getting any easier, as Ray correctly said, Ricky. You've got Palace home, Liverpool away, Forest home, Sunderland away and Brighton home. Interesting times